Welcome back to episode 25 of Project Ozone 2 Kappa mode, and we're in the last millennium. And as you can see, my frame rate is awful, but we're actually harvesting Manicio because our mob farm was far too slow, and that's been upgraded now. So if you want something to be harvested fast, don't upgrade the size as much, just use a smaller farm. And as you can see, it's keeping up with the 10-10-10 growth just fine on, I think this is 7x7 with sprinklers above it. Over here, I've got some diamond seeds, so don't have to worry about those anymore. And you can see how slow this one is by comparison. I've got some mana steel and redstone seeds. Redstone seeds, I'm not converting into redstone, but redstone essence, because redstone essence can make charged crystal. So we don't have to go through that charger, which is so much of a better approach. And I'm just going to get out of here because it is not great for my frame rate. I'll have to do some kind of control for that. I did get these gem boots in a chest drop from the quests. Unfortunately, they mess up my aspect ratio, my field of view on the screen whenever I go through a dimension. So I keep having to unequip them and re-equip them. So sorry if you get that. They just let me run 100% faster. So much better than what we had, and it was just random. However, just in case you are following along, I did also upgrade the sash to the Globetrotter sash, which will essentially let us run faster. So even if I didn't have these on, I still move pretty quickly. It's just a night and day difference with the gem boots. And is there any way to make the gem boots? I'm not sure if there is. Gem boots. Oh, there's different kinds. But they're all from, yeah, they're all from extra planets. Nope, there's no recipe for those, so... Oh well, I got lucky. And I'll keep them on just because I'm on camera and I can get around faster, less wasted time. But in your case, Globetrotter Sash is well worth it. The mana tablet here is being charged by the greater band of aura. I've changed that from the mana band I was using previously. And then I've got the Zevicio essence on the runic table. I'm not sure if that will start. I'm not sure if I have enough mana for it. Let's see. I went and fought the Gaia a few more times. Okay, looks like it is starting, whether it'll finish or something else. But, yeah, I fought the Gaia a few more times. Hit the Wither once or twice. And killed it once, got 7 nether stars. So that's enough to start this recipe up, which is the nether star seeds. And that's going to take a while. Look at that progress bar, or the lack of it, on the right hand side. So let's go and do something else while that cooks up our nether star seeds. As you'll see, my armor is no longer looking like a creeper. I did get a couple of, again, lucky drops in the mob farm. Occasionally this mob farm will drop diamond armor. It's damaged diamond armor. Oops, turn the dislocator off. It's damaged diamond armor, but when it happens, keep it, because you can repair it in an anvil with normal diamonds. There's no crafting recipe for diamond armor, so it's extremely valuable because it shortcuts a huge amount of this crafting. So I did get 2 pieces of that, but the other piece, the helm, I had to craft through, and now we've got the jade leggings to go. So we don't have to do that on camera. We want the exoskeleton stuff. I've got 6, I need 7, and I just got some more from our mob farm. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, 7. And the jade leggings. So we got reinforced. Now we need the next step up, which is going to be something I can never remember, thankfully. I've got this to remind me of that. Gravitite. Fine. Grav. It's the enchanted type, so do remember you have to enchant it and put the right recipe in there. And we want diamonds, I think, and this is where diamonds would of course shortcut all of this. We're up to 800 diamonds. That's really good at this stage of the game anyway, and we get that out of the way. We're going to want titanium. This does keep going, but it is very quick to craft now. We're going to need what's the next thing? Spectre. That comes from the mob farm. We want let's just list ingots, because we want the Axio, we want the Crucio, the Zevicio, and the Imperio. So these all come from the essences, as you'd expect. They just need some of that raw manessence that we get from the mob farm via artifact armor. So let's go through and change these over. So into titanium. Titanium is done. And then we go through Spectre. And you're done. And then we're into these things. Where's my starting ones? Axio is the first stage. Crucio is the next. Can I remember? Imperio? Yep, Imperio. And Zavisio. And then from that point, it's just into Dark Steel, which is obviously very common, but you can't make the dark armor without going through all these other stages. So, Dark Leggings. And we've got Axio armor complete, and it will probably go through all the others. Yeah, that may take a while, but we do have them in the quests. Where are they, though? Are they in beta? Yeah, there they are. So, Axio armor. And I hope it recognized them all. It looks like it did. So let's just claim all of these. And then from this point, I think we're into battlesuit stuff, which I haven't used before. Yeah, we've got all of those done. The other quest we've got to go is Electrotine Seeds, which I'm going to need. It's Nether Star Seeds. And then these Axio and the all the way up to Ultimate Furnace. Speaking of which, I upgraded the furnace through the Hell Furnace, which requires some Erebus stuff, just red gem, which is like the Erebus version of glowstone, very common, and into the Extreme Furnace. To go any further, I think we're going to need a, well, we'll need upgrades. You can change this to run on electricity instead of coal. Because we've got so much coal, I just haven't bothered. There's just so much of it in the system that it doesn't really matter all that much. So let's get those out of the way. And let's just see if we get any more decent loot and do this on camera. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Okay, that's... Incendiary grenade? No. Okay. One of these days I will get something good from that, but it is not today. That is a very slow build-up of mana, but at least it's completely passive, so I don't have to do anything about it. Right. How far has that gone on crafting? And how much, let's see. Oh, it's 2/3, that's fine. So we can come back and maybe finish that. Oh, also, the other thing about these boots, slower fall speed. Quite leisurely fall speed, in fact. So how did I get all of that exoskeleton? Well, I made that power spawner I was talking about. It took 300 levels, which means I'm down to 197, so it is building up again. Put it up here, just powered from its own high temperature furnace generator. This is nowhere near enough power for the powered spawner. You'll see this vibrant capacitor bank is not building up at all. However, it did get me this armor, so I'm not going to need it anymore, so we can turn it off. Let's just say always never active. And then I'll just leave it in here because if I wanted to replace it later with a different powered spawner, I could do. And this whole setup would be up here. Yeah, so that's fine. None of this is connected to the rest of our system. It's just an independent thing that I don't have to worry about. So now it's back to a regular mob farm, which is why I've made it much taller, just to have these lights in the side so that it still works just fine, but we get extra beetles, which we don't need anymore, hopefully, unless I lose all my armor in a tragic death with the Chaos Guardian. Let's not talk about the Chaos Guardian yet. If you're in the end, let me just say, be careful about going any random direction. It is a little bit dangerous if you do so, let me put it that way. Okay, so I'm going to need to craft some more Terra Steel. I'm going to do that off camera. So I want Terra Steel seeds and Nether Star seeds. And that'll get us all the components we need for Botania and get it going pretty easily. Nether Stars, however, well, there's lots of uses for those. And one of the ones I want to do pretty much straight away, let me just show this, once we get the seeds anyway, is the Starry Apple. Starry Apple lets you get the next tier of heart container, as far as I know, and it will basically you eat it and let the wither hit you. And when that happens, when it drops the next tier of hearts. So it does take 4 nether stars, however, per starry apple. So it's a good thing I put plenty of looting on this sword, which is fine. It's at lapis 450. I did also get some creative modifiers, so I could put even more on this sword to make it even more damaging. Quartz. Yeah, I need to make more nether quartz. I need to make nether quartz seeds. I've got oh, there they are. Ha! Do they let me make magical versions of those quartz seeds, or are they just these? It's unfortunate if there isn't a magical crops version, but I've got those. It just needs soul sand and nether quartz below, so yeah, I already 10 them. And then I can put this in the auto, what is it called? The auto tool table, which applies these one at a time. So like that and like that. And you'll see it counting up on the right hand side if I hide any eye. And that's its maximum now. It's at 288 of 288. However, I think that creative modifier will let us add another one, if not more. Creative? Yeah, there we go. Again, these just came out of a loot chest. I don't think there's any kind of recipe because they are intended for, I guess, creative mode. But that's okay. In the regular tool table, will this work? I've not tried this before. We only get 8 of them, so yeah. Can I put more than one on? I can. Okay. So I guess we get to put as many modifiers as we want on. Well, I've only got 8 of these, so I'm not going to use them all. But that lets me put some more quartz on there as and when I get more, which means I need to go and plant those seeds. Okay, so one thing I did want to cover, whoops, even the slow fall speed, I still fail, is this. Okay, so remember I covered the Subnetworks last episode? Well, I did some more work on that. This is just a terminal, don't worry about that. Because I created an entirely automatic processor factory. Ignore the top block. Let's just have a look. Where's my Yeta wrench? All this is doing is saying, pull out of this, put into this. Nothing else in that top block. No complication there whatsoever. Okay, ignore it. I wish these auto-ejected. They don't. Or at least not that I can find. So in here, we've put patterns. Same patterns that we'd use to autocraft. Except, and one important part is that this whole thing is not connected to the main network. You'll see here that's the main network. This is a device on the main network. This is a device on the main network. These two are not. And the only connection these all have is via these two and some power from somewhere. I forget where I put it. It's around somewhere, trust me. I think it's in that block. That's just power connected, so that's fine. So this subnetwork has exactly 8 devices. Okay, you won't work with more than 8, so you can't even put a terminal in here. It needs this, which is a small version. You don't have to make it a small version, but I've just made it more compact, of just 1K crafting storage and a couple of crafting coprocessor units. I may well put a few more on there. I'm not quite sure that it works well with just 2, but well, it works anyway. It just takes a while. And then we have this setup. It's a subnetwork crafting setup. Okay, it only works one way that I know of. And I've set it up and it works. So I'll explain it. But there's a couple of things you really, really need to know. Okay, so we need 2 pairs of storage buses and interfaces. Okay, in the opposite direction. So this one has an interface on the interface on the subnetwork and a storage bus on the main. This is vice versa. Okay. Now on this one, I've put in some ingredients. You don't necessarily have to do this. I've just done this so that this network will always have a full stack of all the ingredients available. So all these things we use to make the printed circuits, as well as the final things, are provided here. You just click them onto this block, and the main network will push them into here because it's an interface. So you can tell it to do that. It just acts like a chest then. So this subnetwork has a storage bus which sees this as a chest. So it has a chest with 5 stacks in it as far as it's concerned. I have a crafting card in this one. Oh yeah, you do actually need a crafting card in this one. Crafting cards tell it to basically anything that's in here that it doesn't have in stock, but it does have a recipe for in the main network, it will craft. that is the only one, the pure Certus quartz crystal. So it's going to go and ask the main system to craft it if it doesn't have any. Important. Also important, on the other side, this is a storage bus. You may want to decrease the priority of this so the system doesn't try and store anything in here, but for now it's fine. I've also got an interface on the inside. So this is telling the inside to craft, using a crafting card, all of these. The important point here that a lot of people will miss is if you put a full stack and request of each of these, if you don't have all of the sub-ingredients, and I do mean, if, like, for example, this one, if you don't have a full stack of printed silicon ready, which doesn't have a full stack of these ready, nothing will happen, and it'll look like your system is broken, something wrong. It's not wrong, it's just that you need more sub-ingredients to make everything work. So if I take these out, I'm not going to do it now, but if I take these out, the system will kick on and start crafting stuff. In fact, let's just see if it does it straight away or if it needs actual some subcomponents. So I did have some trouble with that myself. Let's just grab the logics and let's see if it actually does anything. Yep, there it goes. So it's crafting the printed golden ones. It's crafting more of the printed silicons because some of them are being used in this one to craft the final thing. And it'll do that over time. I won't need to do anything there. See, it's already crafted a few and it will keep on restocking. So that will keep a full stack of this stocked in your main network at all times, which is absolutely great. So systems like this where you got a subnetwork is an amazing saver of channels. Okay, this only takes 2 channels on the main network. See, 1, 2. So on one non-dense cable, one smart cable, you can fit an entire subnetwork of crafting 4 times before it runs out. So there we go. You see, there's the power. And then we've got the storage subnetwork. So we've got 2 more there, I think, and another device, the terminal that I've got on top. So that's 5. So I could get another subnetwork on there if I wanted to, or we can go to P2P tunnels. Not decided which where I'm going to use those yet, but it does mean that this is only using 13 of the 32 channels with an awful lot of devices off it. So it's well worth actually doing. So just a side note, and please do that in your own setups. You can also do the same thing with these. You can put these inside subnetworks and these inside subnetworks together because these two are going to need each other. But then you have this providing via the same interface stock of each of these. And what that means is instead of, for example, right now that's using 4 channels because there's 4 interfaces, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Maybe it's just 7. And then 8 is all the way down there for some reason. I decided to spread things out. So this cable should be full or next to full. Yeah, it's full entirely. So just bear that in mind. You may want to put them in subnetworks. I'm not at the moment. I'll just expand this out via different methods like P2P once we need the expansion. Cool. So our nether seeds are done, apparently. Have I got my magnet on or off? Off. Good. This won't work without it. Let's just do that. And... oh, nether star seeds. Quickly grab those. Where are they? There they are. Okay, so we can then go back to the last millennium. Yes. This opens up a whole bunch more. And if you think that's endgame, let me just show you. What did I encounter earlier? Something really simple that just I'll find it later. It was just basically the largest extreme crafting table recipe for something that was just straightforward. It was just really expensive. So here we can just put this one seed in our seed storage once we mark it up as being northeast in this case. And then we can just get rid of all of you guys because we don't need Minicio to be trained anymore. And we'll just be friendly and put them all back for the machine. And in here, go to always active. I would put a lever on it, but it doesn't really matter for this case. Let's just put these back in the system. Okay, so that's going to start going, hopefully. It's got enough crop seed, the crop storage, crop sticks. Let's just put some more in. It does tend to take quite a lot to do this, so we'll make sure it has enough. and it's going to start breeding them. One other thing, I wasn't satisfied with this. We were getting a few power problems, I think, and I decided to go with this setup. Remember when we did those quests for heat generators from Mechanism? Well, I used them in here, and you can see why I'm being a bit tentative. There's a heat generator there, there's one in the middle, and there's one on the left-hand side. They're surrounded by blocks of, well, say blocks of lava. Lava, essentially. They don't use it up, so it's completely passive. The lava isn't flowing past them or anything, so no block updates, and completely passive power. Which means it doesn't show at the moment because this Vibrant Quest bank is full, but it's about 2 KRF plus. I think it's about 1300, 1400 for these, and then the rest or there'll be more coming from that, and that'll be a little bit variable, but that capacitor powers this whole dimension just fine, completely passively. No need for sunlight or anything like that. Like solar. I was considering solar, but it's not. Oh, will those Nether Star Seeds not actually work on? Does it need some special... let's see, Nether Star Seeds. Will you actually grow? It can't grow there. Really? Where is it needed to grow? It needs... Oh my. Okay. Okay. Fine. We're going to come back for that, but we're going to have to do it pretty much straight away, I think. I want these Nether Star Seeds so much. We need Awakened Draconium. Okay, and there's only one way to get Awakened Draconium that I know of. Do you know? Okay. It is, I guess, an enjoyable process. We need to go and resurrect a dragon. The Awakened Dragon itself, which means we're going to need some Draconium. And we've got plenty of it, so I just wonder what does our smeltery make of it? Should be fine. I just want to make Draconium blocks, so let's just turn you on and you off. And then I'm going to need to empty out those crucibles, but that's okay. Yeah, that's making it just fine, and we need to get rid of you and you and you. Okay, so we should get Draconium blocks out of that. Yeah, we do. Now, how do we charge them? Is it just in a charger? Will that do it? What recipes have you got? Ooh, look for later. Yeah, it doesn't have a recipe, so I think it is just in a charger, but I think we've got one set up somewhere. Will you charge? Or maybe even just in a capacitor bank, because if they just respond to RF, then that will be easier. They do. And they hoover the power like you wouldn't believe. It's empty. Okay, let's wait for that to come back. And yeah, it looks like I'm not getting that ritual done today. I wanted to, but yeah, we need draconic cores. And they need, aside from Mangaloy, which we can get, I guess. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, we can get it. It needs blue gems, which come from Neptune Blue Gem, or which come from Neptune. We haven't been to Neptune, and it's... Yeah, that's not easy, because I'm going to have to go through several tiers of rockets, I want to say, to actually get to it. So I'm going to have to go to actually Jupiter first, I want to say, and then I'm going to have to expand this array. So we'll do that between the episodes, I think. We'll come back to that one. But I've got the seeds. I just can't grow them yet. So, job done. Hopefully the terrestrial will not be as much of a problem. This is shut down for the moment, but I'll re-energize it later. Yeah, so I'll go back to crafting terrestrial. So since Nether Stars are off the cards, at least until I get the rest of it done, I thought I'd get started with another one of the big systems. Big? Yeah, big reactors. And this also has some bottlenecks we've got to get past. The biggest one, not to use the pun over the top again, is reactor controller. So this needs demon steel of the third magnitude. However, we're getting that, or able to get that, from that crafter down there. So we don't have to worry too much about that. The reactor casing is nothing much new. Graphite is just coal smelted. Yellorium we already have. You just smelt that to get yellorium. And you go through and you think, oh, I can do all of this stuff. You know, I can make some reactor glass, etc. Until you try to look for the fuel rod. So typically I build 7x7 reactors to start with. That's my usual, rather than something smaller. And this, again, steel, lead, all fine. Uranium. Now, at this point I thought, uranium's fine. It's going to be ore-dictionaried with yellorium. I could just put some uranium into a storage drawer. Nope, it's not ore-dictionaried. You've got to get uranium by another method. And you've also got to get palladium. All right, so that's tier 5 items. So in my case, I went and got palladium from Jupiter. It went up in the rocket, so that's one thing. We can also get to digital miners from that, so that will be useful for the future once I get tesseracts going to get the items backwards and forwards from the digital miner. Uranium is on a bit of a different scale, though. Apparently, according to this, there's uranium ore from Ceres. Okay, I went to Ceres. I can't find any uranium ore there. There's loads and loads of other ores, not uranium. So the other way we can get it, I guess, is via the laser drill with a lime focus. And we get 0.7% Ceres uranium ore. Okay, the laser drill is actually quite simple to craft. I've already made one. There's nothing really too much to worry about that. It is simply these lights, which is just glowstone and iron and some glass. All the other stuff we've done or got. Great, you'd say. And so you look at the pre-charger. Most of it's fine apart from the pink slime crystal. Pink slime crystals come from pink slime blocks, which come from pink slime balls. So we're going to need 36 of these for 4 pre-chargers. And how do we get pink slime balls? Well, it's not very forthcoming about how you get pink slime balls. Yep, that's just a circular recipe. That's no help. You get pink slime from Pink Slime's actual NPCs, and you get those by using, do I have a bucket? I do have a bucket. I've put a slaughterhouse in place here next to our sheep. Let's just turn that on for a minute while that counts down. This is breeding sheep in this. The chronotyper is moving sheep across, and instead of ranching now, I've just temporarily put the slaughterhouse in play, which is right there. It's going to count down. As soon as it hits the bottom, it starts slaughtering adults. So the babies, they're fine for a while, just like real life. That's morbid. But they have a chance of dropping pink slime. You can then use, where's my syringe gone? Oh, there it is. Slime embiggening syringe. Crazy name, but the syringe just needs regular stuff we've already got. And then you apply some gelatinous slime or slime balls. You get that from the mob farm that you've already got. So we can do this, drop this in place, and then eventually it should spawn something. When that happens, we can use a syringe on it, which will turn it into a large one, and then kill it, which will... Oh, there it is. So let's use the syringe. Oh, hi. Oh, you're bigger now. Okay. So then we can use our cleaver. And we should get some smaller ones. And they should drop... pink slime balls we need. However, 7. 7 for 1 bucket. That's the downside. And you only get a chance of this pink slime. So let's just grab another one. Pop it in place. And I'm going to need another syringe. So let's just... Can I grab that back before it spawns? Yes, I can. Good. Well, not another syringe. I'm going to need another... The other... contents of the syringe, put it that way. I didn't bring 2 out because it just gets refilled. Assuming I've got enough stuff. There we go. Not sure where I'm getting slime balls from. No idea. But we've got another syringe. So let's see if I get any more than 7 on the second run through. That'll get us 1 pre-charger. I'm not sure if it starts with 1 pre-charger. Hopefully it will. Just won't work as fast. And then we can get further on. Oh, there it is. And we've used it. We can now use our... There you go. Oh, hey guys. We've got 19. Okay, that's actually nicer. So 12 on the second run through. That's more random than I would normally expect. But that does mean we can get 2 pink slime blocks. And once we then put those through the smeltery, well, not the smeltery, the just this extreme furnace, we should get the crystals, which will get pulled into our system, so we can then hopefully make the pre-charger. Is it one word? Pre-charger, yes. Okay, do we have everything else we need? No, we're just missing some fused quartz, so I should have plenty of quartz. Yep, our quartz seeds are clearly working. Ooh, slime pearl, okay. Let's just pop these in place and get some glass. There may already be some in the top. I usually do make some. This 8 billion is half full. And the reason why that is, by the way, just in case you're wondering how, well, no, you won't have wondered that. Let me explain what I've been doing with the power anyway. I was having lots of power loss, and it's because I hadn't upgraded these crushers and the other mechanism machines. In the upgrade section, you have an energy upgrade which has a 10 times effect on the machine, so it can hold lots more energy, but it's much more efficient. So this just helps everything go, and now it's like, you know, 17.6 RF per tick coming in. When it actually hits, when everything shuts down, it's nearly 19.5, so it doesn't really use all that much at the moment, but it's fine, it's working pretty well. So let's just get rid of this stuff in our inventory. And then let's head over to find somewhere we can set up at least these 2 initial things. The main problem's going to be they need sight of, well, bedrock, and I need to get power out of there. We could use our workaround, I guess, but yeah, I'm not liking that workaround. Well, at least not for much longer, of basically putting these high temperature furnace generators anywhere and then basically distributing power by distributing liquids through ender tanks. It works well in the game, but it's getting to the point now where we're going to have to move on. To move on, we're going to need tesseracts, or at least there are a few others. I think there's a transceiver. Is it called a transceiver? Transceiver. Ender IO. That's reinforced obsidian. Vibrant capacitor block, enlightened. Actually, that's a lot easier than the tesseract recipe. Does that let me transport item fluids and power? Yep. Okay, I'm going with the dimensional transceiver. The reason why is, let me show you the tesseract. Okay, tesseract. Normally a simple recipe, not so much in this. So let's just go down through the levels. Yeah, okay, so regular it starts fine as it moves up, but then moves on to these energizer capsules. These are fairly simple to create with lumium, which we're going to get from seeds shortly anyway. I've got them training, but 40 redstone blocks per capsule. So that means 160 redstone blocks for this level, another 160 for this level, and then another 160 for this level to get to the tesseract frame that's empty. You then finish the tesseract off, I think, and that needs us to pour resin ender into it. So the top level bit of the recipe is the same, just the actual, these pieces are expensive. Alright, so here we are in the Nether. Yes, if you know about these, you get a sort of discount if you put them really high up in the world. But that's only about 20% or so of energy that you save, so I thought I'd do it this way instead, at least for now. We'll see how much energy it uses first, and then, Yeah, maybe need to revisit that decision depending on how much energy we're using. I started off with 2. I'm hopeful this works. If it doesn't, then I'll just go and camp those sheep for quite a while. And we can put to go to here. I'm going to choose to receive energy from you, which you're getting. Good. And work is going up. I'm not sure if this actually needs direct power via the laser drill. If it does, then I have to put that 1 higher. In fact, let's just actually sort that out while we're here. Let's actually go around, shall we? Let's grab you for a second. Let's make our power ring on the... Just the speed of this... The speed of this pickaxe now is a little high, especially for netherrack, which isn't the most robust of ores anyway. It's a little high. Okay, so let's just go above here and route the power above, shall we? Then we can get everything in a fairly compact space. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to need to run the power out this way a little bit, but not very far. Just want to make sure I've got room for the transceiver. Right about there should do. And did you preserve your settings? Yes, you did. And it's always active. Configure IO shouldn't need to be set, but let's set the push for that. Okay, you have energy. Let's just get rid of... Where's my magnet? There we go. Don't want to lose this to accidents with lasers. And then let's just bring power over once and twice. No, you don't seem to connect for power. I can't see how you connect to any other sides, so that's going to have to be that. Let's get rid of you then. And put this chest back. Okay, and the work is just going to keep increasing. I guess I can come back later. This is chunk loaded. I can put it in a chest up there as well. I do need to make more focuses though. I've only made 1. We need up to 6. And we'll see if this actually does anything over time. Yep, it is actually producing tin ore, so that's not a great start, but it's fine for now. What I actually do want to see is how much that... I need to put a teleporter down here, don't I? I want to see how much that takes up out of our main system with just 2 running, because if we have an idea, that should give us an idea of what it is with 4 running. So let's just pop over to the base and then we can finish off this episode with transceivers. They're much cheaper than the tesseracts, or at least much more straightforward to craft as well, except that they need to be crafted in a QED, which isn't completely automatable. But yeah, we'll see. I may well just end up automating things. You may notice where I borrowed the vibrant capacitor banks from to make it. This only has 6 billion RF. It's so terrible. But right now it's consuming what looks like around 9k RF per tick. So if I put 2 more pre-charges, it's going to hoover all of the power on our base. So I'm going to need to either start with more of these, possibly, or move into big reactors. And that's where the big reactors wall is. I need to get enough uranium to be able to start a big reactor that will give me enough power to get uranium to make a big reactor. So I'm going to have to bootstrap it, and that's fine. We'll come back next episode, and hopefully we'll see you then, and we'll see you about building our first big reactor of this playthrough. Oh, and why are you not working? Probably because you're out of wheat. Are you out of wheat? Yeah, okay. I'll go and fix that between the episodes. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe as normal if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see you next time.